Hey all, today we are going to cover the touchpoint suppression and removal, the custom segmentation, as well as adding cost. This is really when you fully have set up your channels, your online, offline, you've pulled in activities, and as you're looking at your data, you want to refine those data points as well as you want to be able to get more use out of your dashboards inside of Discover here. So that's why we've kind of grouped all these together. They play together, or they kind of go hand in hand, even though they're doing different things. So we'll touch on the touchpoint removal and suppression. Here's a link. I'll put it in the description below, but this is the section. So you go to My Account Settings, you go to Touchpoint Settings, and in here you can pull from the CRM and you can suppress data points off of that. You could also suppress data points off of the touch points in which you have collected. Now, let's first talk about suppression and removal. So, removal is your first option here. Removal of touch points is once a touch point is created in the CRM. So, common example here would be a time period, right? So, your CRM has a limitation in the amount of data in which it can withhold. And so you want to pull away or pull out some of those touch points that have been created from your CRM, but you want to keep those touch points inside of your Discover dashboard reporting, right? So that's what removal is doing. So if any touch point is, so you come in here and you say any touch point, and then we could say if the touch point date is older than, or if the touch point creation date is older than, 2 years ago or whatever date you choose, then it would remove those from the CRM. So they would no longer be in your CRM reporting, but they will show up inside of your Marketo Measure Discover reporting. Okay. Suppression is that we would suppress the touch points from ever going into your CRM. So they would never get created, essentially. So this would remove them from many of your Discover dashboards, and they would never get created inside your CRM. But they still show up in one dashboard, which is your engagement path here. This shows all touch points that have been created. Now, so those are really the things. So with suppression, you would want to suppress maybe touch points that were coming in that are test touch points. So anything where if the contact email and the lead email, if those contain test, remove them. If you're an enterprise organization and you really don't want any domains or common domains such as Gmail or Yahoo or whatever it is, for emails, then you can remove those as well, or suppress them, from ever going into the system. And then that way you have those touch points. So that's really the main use cases around those. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those comments in the comment section down below. If you make a removal or suppression here, you most likely will want to do that on the attribution touch point as well. All right. Now, segmentation, again, here's the article. It walks through it step by step. Here is the segmentation. I already put in like op stages. So I'm going to give you two common examples and kind of walk through that here. So you could create, op stage. These will be all the op stages, right? So and then I can come in here, and then this would be open. And I can come in here and I go and find my opportunity stages. Oh, sorry, I'm already in touch points. So you'll see though, you can see account, opportunities, and touch points in which you can segment. So you are basically creating groupings. The reason that is when you are in Marketo Measure Discover, you don't have filters that you have inside your CRM system. So this enables you to bring in some of that filtering logic by creating these segmentations within your data. So you can do that again at the account opportunity level or touchpoint level. You also have it over here, which is the lead object. You can change this from lead to contact. It is not a both, and it is solely a or. So you can do one or the other as far as lead or contact. Over here on the opportunity piece, you can look at opportunities, accounts, and touch points from that perspective. So from op stage, you can come in here, go into opportunity, stage name, and then is equal to, and you pull in exactly what it is inside of your Salesforce or your CRM. And then you would do, and then, so we'll just say it's called open. And then we would create a new one. So I have my open, and then I would go into, sales accepted, or, whatever you would want it to be. And you keep creating those there. Another common example would be, let's remove these here real quick. Is you could do opportunity type. So this is a common one because when you look at reporting, oftentimes you want to look at if this is a new opportunity, right? So you don't want to look at maybe renewals inside your Discover dashboards, and you want to look at the opportunity type, right? You want to look at new business ops. So that's one that's also really helpful. From an account perspective, you can do ABM, so ABM tier, and then you could look at account. And if you have a field on your account object inside your CRM, you could look at, maybe it's called ABM tiering, and it could be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And you could do that, and then you bring those segments into here as well. So super helpful as far as bringing in some of those data points from your CRM that you typically use for filtering, and bring those into your Marketo Measure Discover. So maybe that's always a good place to start, right? Is what filters are you commonly using on these objects that you would like to see in here, and you can bring those in. Okay. All right. So the last one is the cost. So reporting on marketing spend. Now this is something that is a common challenge for people using Marketo Measure, but really any platform. Tracking costs can be challenging. So whether you're using Marketo or Marketo Measure or anything else, it can be just kind of be painful, even Salesforce and Dynamics. And so with that, we really make it pretty easy. You can pull in costs in multiple ways. You can pull it directly from your CRM. You can pull it in directly from Marketo Engage if you're syncing those programs over through our integration and connections with our ad platforms that we have. We can pull in costs from those as well. So it really narrows down to a very few that you would need. Now, if you're not doing costs at the campaign level or program level, you can simply export that data. So you could choose the date frame in which an event ran or something like that. You would download the current costs. You would get a CSV file. You would be able to find the campaign in that column, the campaign name. You'd find it, and then you could associate the costs in that specific month there as you see fit. At that point, you would be able to report on ROI. So I think the ROI calculator inside of Marketo Measure Discover is one of the more powerful tools because it immediately does those calculations for you. Now, again, I'm in the sandbox. There's no data in this, but as you can see here, like I can pull in, if I had my if I had an event, I could see how much revenue did that event pull in, how much did I spend on it, quick ROI calculation, obviously, and then lead count, opportunity count, deal count, and then I look at how much did it cost to get me each one of those, right? So those calculations happening immediately for me is a game changer. I'm not having to try to do all those calculations. I can immediately have that in a very easy, accessible, digestible view. So really, really strongly encourage getting the cost into the system so that you can get all that. Now, this ROI calculator also, you have the channel, sub-channel. You can report off of campaign. So this would pull in your Marketo programs, your Salesforce campaigns, your ad campaigns, so Google AdWords, any of those things. The creative, so this is solely from your ad platforms, so Bing or Google Ads or whatever, what the creative is and what's the keyword. And you would actually have all of the ROI summarization there. So super powerful. Again, all of these things from touchpoint removal, suppression to segmentation to the cost all really transform how you look at data within Marketo Measure Discover. And I think by doing these really will level up how you use the tool as well as the value that you get out of the tool. So if you do have any questions about this, please leave them down below, and I'll put the links in the description as well. Thanks so much.